Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for a quick pricing quote, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a Patek Philippe Calatrava automatic full bracelet, yellow gold. This is the Calatrava 5127/1J-001. Gorgeous in 37 millimeters, resplendent in the most bold of gold. You can see it's 8.9 millimeters thick, so slender, and 45.8 millimeters lug-to-lug. If we include the solid end links of the bracelet, is 47.6 millimeters across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throwing the watch on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference. I've always opined that a traditionally sized dress watch is always the way to wear gold in the best taste, and truly that holds up here. First of all, you want a dress watch, you got it. This will fit underneath absolute any cuff. You can also see that it's nicely sized. The case itself is so narrow across the wrist, I can recommend this for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference, which makes it an outstanding unisex option, as this is a watch for him and for her. You can see the down the barrel shot shows how much clearance I have on both sides of my wrist. The bracelet is gorgeous and beautifully built. As you can see, it's a 5-link design, all of high polish with short profiles. Take a look at how well vented this bracelet is. It definitely doesn't bunch up and trap heat or pull hair or pinch your wrist. It's just wonderfully fluid, well vented, comfortable, and glittering. It's gorgeous. It's beautifully made with screws fixing removable links. Today, Patek Philippe uses pin sleeves. Back in the day when this watch was made, and this one was retailed in 2008, you could see that screws were used to fix and remove sizable links. Now we've got a clasp that is internally constructed of white gold for reasons of structural integrity, as white gold is the hardest of golds and thus the obvious choice for load-bearing mechanical components. We have a clamshell lock to prevent the clasp from popping open accidentally. Rolling over to the case, you can see it's a handsome shape. Patek Philippe's been making its own cases since 1981 when it purchased Atelier Réuni and first got into the case-making game. This one is particularly fluid, as there are very, very few straight lines on this case. Beautifully compound curved with relatively short, tightly downturned, and tapered lugs. It's elegant. It's also from the crown guard school of Calatrava design. There are really two different schools of Calatrava case design. You can have a straight side, traditional, no crown guard, or a tapered, encompassing sheer guard profile like what we have here. So at first glance, this looks like a 39 millimeter watch because of the crown guard structure, and I think that's intentional. This watch reads as larger than it is. The bezel is domed, which is a handsome look that flows nicely from the lines of the case. It is a screw-down crown, and it has, as you can see, a screwed-in case back. So though this watch is 30 meters water-resistant, compared to a 30-meter push-down crown snapback Patek Philippe, I suspect this one is far more water-resistant in fact. So, taking a look at the dial, I'm not going to ruminate on the water resistance too much, except to say this is an exceptionally hermetically sealed dress watch case by the standards of these things. The dial is an opaline silver, but I detect hints of ivory in it. It's not a straight silver white. It's a little bit warmer than that. You can see there's a gold dimple style seconds and minutes track outboard, individual 18 karat yellow gold Dauphine hands, which are faceted down their center for better contrast, dart style indices that are faceted on their sides as well as their back sides. So a lot of micrometric diamond tipped milling being done manually on these little parts. And then there's a faceted frame for the date. The watch has center seconds with a counterweighted lancet style seconds hand, and I should mention that the watch does include a quick set system for the date, though it does not have hacking seconds. Folks who know these Patek Philippe center second 324s and 315s well realize you can apply a little bit of back pressure and hold the seconds hand in place for as long as you want, effectively hacking them. That's a little bit of a hacking hack, if you will. Turning the watch over, you can see caliber 315. Prior to 2006, you would have seen the use of the 315. So this watch was retailed in 2008. I suspect it was built a little bit earlier. Now, lots to love here. Nicely hand finished. You can see there are mirrored bevels. They're started mechanically but finished manually. The Geneva hallmark, or the Poinçon de Genève. Prior to about July 2009, your Patek Philippe watch would have included the age-old Geneva stamp. It's a little bit more nostalgic, romantic, and old school, and I prefer it. Although the Patek Philippe seal, those watches are made just as well. I like the olden ways of things. I'm a bit of a iconoclast, a retro grouch, call me what you want, but the newer Patek Philippe seal seems a little bit like the fox guarding the hens. Now, What else do we have? Caliber 315. It's the precursor of the 324. They're both unidirectional winders. The main difference is that the 315 is a 21.6 beat rate and the 324 is a 28.8 beat rate. So this is 3 hertz. The newer movement is 4 hertz. In practice, they both keep excellent time. They also both have a Gyromax free-sprung balance. Now you can see back then, in 2008, these watches were adjusted in 5 positions, which is the standard for chronometers and for high horology. Unidirectional winding for efficiency. You saw the quick set function, and of course this one's beaten away at 21.6 and pivoting on 29 joules. The timepiece is absolutely gorgeous inside and out, but a few highlights here for me are the circular Côte de Genève across the rotor, the engine turning at the center of the rotor, the reduction wheel adjustment, as well as on the base plate. The beveling is quite nice. The Côte de Genève linear across the bridges are perfectly aligned and laid down with abrasive wheel, and all of the screw heads are black polished on their tops with chamfered slots as well as chamfered circumference. In other words, it's a Patek Philippe inside and out with all that entails. Great stuff, guys, and rarely seen on the full bracelet. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.